Well, good afternoon to everyone. I shifted a little bit, didn't realize that I started already. I had started already, but it's all good. I was clicking something else, but it's all good. Welcome in and thank you so much for joining me for the Monday moment with CK. You are welcome in. Come on in. Come on in. Listen, we're going to have a chat today about keep the dream alive. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of background, if you don't know, to share some background in reference to Black history or African American history month in as we call it in the month of February, the celebration. So I am excited to be here, thankful to be here, grateful to be here. And I am, listen, I am. It's just so much to be. Well, hello, Miss White. Thank you for joining me. Well, let me introduce myself real quickly, as I always do. I am CK. I am your travel specialist, CEO and owner of KM Travels, and I just help you to see new adventures and so much more. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm an author. I am a motivation, inspirational speaker, and I just love connecting to you. Those of you that take time, those of you that have just been my inspiration, that have just been my motivation to come on my Monday and Wednesday. And today I promise you, especially because this is considered the last day of the celebration, as they would say, but we know African American History Month is forever, and it's just a time and season that they decided to highlight it. So I'm excited about highlighting it, and you'll get some information later if you hang out with me for a moment. But I really want to talk about keeping the dream alive. Keeping the dream alive. And I took the inspiration from the one and only Dr. Martin Luther King, as he talked about keep the dream alive, as he talked about fighting for what is right. It's okay. But what I always say is everything that we do, we should do in love. Um it's okay to stand up for something, but it is always important to make sure that when you do stand up for something, that you're standing up in love. You're not trying to hurt anybody, you're not trying to destroy anybody, but what we're trying to do is make our voice heard, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's the bottom line. And I am excited today to talk about keeping the dream alive. And as usual, I just have my little 3 points, and then I really want to share something at the end with you in reference to African American History Month. And when we're talking about keeping the dream alive, we're talking about be determined and dedicated. You have to be determined and dedicated, because there's so many things that are meant to or try to block you or separate you or detour you from your dream. And only you are the person that can allow that detour or that blockage. Everything, as long as you are, how would they say, as long as you are willing to keep the dream alive, or keep the dream alive, nothing can block you or stop you. And we always talk about putting God first. And once you put God first, all things are possible. The impossible becomes the possible. So I want to say again, welcome to the Monday Moments with CK today. And listen, it is, it is okay. It is okay to go through changes and different situations and circumstance, but it's always again how you handle it. It is always how you handle it. It is always how you handle it. Whether you handle it with negativity or whether you handle it with a positive perspective and mindset that sets you apart and that sets you as a winner. And that's what we're talking about as we're talking about keeping the dream alive. We're talking about understanding to obtain, to obtain and achieve is to keep believing in yourself and the endless possibilities, and keep believing in the one and true living God that can do all things but fail. Can do all things but fail. Hey, my Shannon. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, can do all things but fail. And yes, every time, hey, PT, welcome my family and friends and loved ones. Listen, so when Dr. Martin Luther King was talking about that, he was talking about fighting and not giving up. Even in your, hi, Brina. He was talking about not allowing the circumstances of life to weigh you down. It's like he knew what was about to happen, but he still said, I have a dream. What is your dream today? What is your dream today? What is your, I'm going to use my sis for a moment. What is your bright idea today? What is your bright idea? What are you trusting and believing God for today? Keep the dream alive. Be determined and dedicated to that dream. Be determined. I'm going to say it again. Be determined and dedicated to that dream. Understand and to achieve and keep and to see the dream come to pass, you and achieve what you desire. You have to believe in you, but most importantly, you have to be right from the world, like and that's a good dream, right? Trust and believe always. Amen. Amen. And that should be a dream, PT, that we want to be more Christ-like. And what happens is the more you become more Christ-like, you let go of all the extra. I call it extra. Because some of the stuff just be extra. All the hate, all the negativity, it just be extra for no reason. For no reason. Be you. Be you. Love you. And love God with all your heart. And you're going to see some transformations as you keeping the dream alive. God is going to see you through it. God is going to help you through it. God is going to make the way out of no way. See, today I feel a little different because when you realize some things and you see what God, how they say, there's a song that says, count your blessings, name them one by one, and it'll surprise you. what has been happening, what God has done in the midst of the COVID, in the midst of the, hello, my Dita, in the midst of the COVID, in the midst of the ups, in the midst of the negativity that tries every which way to bring destruction and to bring hate. And because, together we're stronger, and divided we fall. And I feel so passionate about this tonight. Ukraine, we're praying for you. But there's some things that we just have to set in order to keep the dream alive. It wasn't, Martin Luther King just wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about your purpose, your destiny. And he was talking about making it through, even when the odds are against you. Even when it's only tell yourself, and this is my third one, and you see how quick I came to it, because I'm so passionate about this today. It's only impossible if you tell yourself it's impossible. Then you can't keep the dream alive if you keep saying it's impossible. But one thing, and I like how you said that, PT, that you've got to want to be even closer to God, more like God, not just saying a bunch of things, but allowing our actions to connect with what we say, our actions to connect with the love that God gives and God shares, and God, we only can devour hate with love. You can't devour hate, and watch your dreams come true if you just have just a little faith. Just a little faith. Say it again, PT. Just a little faith, and see the impossible. But don't stay in the little faith. Let your faith grow as God stretches you, as God brings you to new levels and new understandings and new blessing and all of that. Because then you begin to see how it's so important to keep the dream alive for your children's children, for your next level, for the things that are still destined for you. Age has nothing to do with it. There's a purpose and a plan, and it's about you when it comes to that. But don't be selfish, but trust in God. Having faith in God. Thank you, PT. Having faith in God, and watch your dreams come to reality. Oh my, I am so passionate about this tonight, because I saw what God did with me. I saw something that transpired. And like I said, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to share something with y'all. And I don't want to open up too much, until it's time. But I'm just amazed, because God is real. Yes, He is. And He can do all things but fail if you just have faith, believe, and trust Him. And that will keep the dream alive. Don't let your dreams die because of doubts. Don't let your dreams die because of someone else. Don't let your dreams die because of circumstances that may rise up. Stand up, stand strong, and stand out. Unmute your voice and let it be heard. Yes, write your book. But one thing I want to say, and it's not to discredit anybody or whatever, pray about all that you do so that God can guide you to the right. Yes, God can put you in the right purpose and plan. There's so many things coming up in 2022, and I'm so excited because there are unexpected things, and I talked about it last week, that I had no idea what was going to transpire in 2022. But God said, fear not, be of good courage. I am with you. I am not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. And your dreams and the desires that connect with me, notice how I said it, that connect with my will. Because there are things we desire, but they're really not the will of God. God has a perfect will, and there's also a permissive will. And I don't know if anybody understands where I'm going. And that permissive will be like, oh my God, it looks good and it sounds good. But then when you look behind the scene and you take off what we call the veil, you see the truth. And that's where discernment, that's where prayer of the righteous availeth much. That's where you begin to really understand. I refuse to worry anymore. I refuse to allow circumstances to dictate my next level. But what I do understand is I have to do certain things because it's connected to the people I'm connected to. It's connected to help somebody else, not just Carmen, not just CK. So I want you to stay blessed and be encouraged and stay determined and dedicated. That determination and dedication, I don't know how many really watch when they do the Olympics and how determined and dedicated when we see the, you know, when I started to get into football and I watched the determination and I watched the dedication, and it makes a difference in keeping the dream alive. But most importantly, everybody, understanding and the faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. So I want to share something with y'all today. And I want to share something, and maybe some know it, maybe some don't, because I want to get off. I didn't expect to be this long. But African American History Month. In 1915, Harvard-educated historian Carter G. Woodson and Minister Jesse Moreland founded what's known as the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. That organization established Negro History Week since 1926, which strived to inspire schools and community to organize local celebrations and host performances and lectures. Carter Woodson, the father of Black history, was tireless in the lobby to establish Negro History Week as a program to encourage the study of African American history. He dedicated his career to the subject and wrote many books on the topic. His most famous volume is The Education of the Negro in 1933, which has become required reading at numerous colleges and universities. But I want to share this real quickly and then I'm gone. The Civil Rights, a week became a month. The Civil Rights Movement of the 1960s helped elevate Negro History Week to national prominence and turned it into a month-long celebration. As a result, in 1976, President Gerald Ford made things official, proclaiming February to be Black or African American History Month, honoring African American men and women. You don't have to look far to notice the many impressive achievements of Black men and women in the fields of science, politics, law, sports, entertainment, and many others. And to name a few, Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad civil rights activist; Alice Ball, chemist; Josephine Baker, how we know her, singer, dancer, civil rights activist; and our Martin Luther King, Baptist minister and social activist; Rosa Parks, civil rights activist; Mary Jackson, scientist, mathematician, NASA's first Black female engineer; Maya Angelou, my girl, civil rights activist, author, and poet; and three more, Jocelyn Elders, first African American U.S. Surgeon General. And the last two are Colin Powell, the U.S. Secretary of State, four-star General, U.S. Army. And finally, our Barack Obama, U.S. President, U.S. Senator, and lawyer. And I did this for a reason. And I said I was going to name some of these and share some of this information. And I'm going to literally put it in the chat and all of that, because Black History Month wasn't initially a month. It was initially a week. But because we kept the dream alive and all that we do, when you keep the dream alive, it keeps going. And it makes room for others to keep growing and shining. I love you guys. Keep going forward. It doesn't mean because, they end up the celebration today and so forth, but we keep remembering because we're keeping the dream alive. And I want to say this to you. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on yourself, but keep the dream alive. I want to use Barack Obama. He did. And he broke barriers. And, we know others did, but the acknowledgement that he produced and brought, and the connections and the things that he brought forth, everything is not always perfect, but it made a difference. So you continue to make a difference, whether it's small or big. I am CK. I thank you for this Monday moment that took a little bit longer because I wanted to share a little bit of where African American history really, the celebration actually started. But it never ends. We are American African American history. Keep making history and doing what you do, writing your books, teaching your children, bringing your children into new levels, and loving one another. Yes, Black Lives Matter, but we have to matter to each other. Love you guys. Again, I am CK. I am your travel specialist, CEO and owner of of of, of KM Travels, because I love helping someone to see new adventures and so much more. Author, speaker, and just love connecting to you. Continue to stand up, stand out, stand strong. Love and hugs, everyone. Blessings, love, and hugs. Take care and meet me on Wednesday as we start our Women's Month and we start celebrating. And I'm going to be bringing in some guests, and the guests are women that are just going to be, I know, going to bring it and be amazing. Love you. Thank you again for taking time to connect and watch on the replay and be here live. I love you guys. I love you guys, and thank you again. So again, love, hugs, and blessings. Stand up, stand out, and continue to stand strong. It's going to be all right. And this too shall pass. Take care, everybody.